You don't have to wait until you can oh god. You don't have to wait until you can reciprocate. You don't have to wait until you can reciprocate. Oh god. Reciprocate. I know the word. Before I got married, I experienced that situation where friends switch up on me. So we were friends, all of us were single, then they got married, they switched up or they have kids, and then their attitudes towards me changed. The friendship sort of took like a different turn just because something in their life changed. And I used to be one of those people that believed and even used to say that married women switch up on their single friends when they get married or have kids. And now I understand. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that it's the right thing to do or that single people and married people cannot be friends. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying that now in my situation, I kind of understand it, especially if it was not like ill intended. I'm not here to defend people who intentionally cut off people just because they are situation change. That's not what I'm here to talk about. In this video, I'm going to be giving my insider's perspective on why I think that relationship, friendship change when people get married. That's what this video is going to be about. I'm not saying it's something that I support. I'm not saying that the intention is always good. I just know that now I have like a different perspective to the way life happens, and that's what I'm going to be sharing in this video. If that's something that you're interested in, keep watching. Cue in the intro, cue in the intro. There's an undeniable shift that happens in a person's life when they get married or when they have kids. Those are two big life changes or life change. Whatever. English is not my first language, so I'm going to dabble here and there. Ignore that. I was saying that marriage and having kids are two big life changes that happen with people, and because it's a new thing that happened, because it's big, they are trying to sort of settle down, figure that out, navigate it, try to build their foundation in that situation. So they are focusing all of their energy, all of their time on that, and of course they will call you less. Of course they are less available to hang out. Of course, they are not telling you everything like they used to. It's no longer possible, especially when it comes to like their personal, private life. There are things that they would now want to keep to themselves. As girls, as friends, we usually like discuss very detailed personal issues when we are single, when we are dating, when we are in situationships. Those are like topics that are open for discussions, just because we are not sure what the permanence of that is. But when it comes to marriage, that aspect of friendship shifts a bit. There are certain private things that I can no longer discuss with my friends just because it relates to like my marriage and my man and you know all of that thing. They are just things that are better kept between the both of you so that is easily resolvable. There's no judgments. Having third parties in your marriage make things a lot difficult. Trust me, it makes things a lot difficult. If it's just the both of you, you guys will know how to navigate stuff. But once people start coming into it, giving opinions, it gets tricky. So understandably, they decide to keep certain infos to themselves, and it begins to feel like they are pulling away. At least that was what I thought when I was experiencing that with my friends when I was single. When these sort of things begin to happen, when these sort of things, I begin to notice these sort of things. So maybe we are having conversations and I'm just pouring out all of the things that have been happening to me and just sharing details like we used to, but they are not as open any longer. They are choosing to keep certain things to themselves. They are no longer telling me those sort of details in their life. It feels like they are pulling away from me. It feels like they are telling me that they no longer want me to be like a part of their life. It feels like that friendship is tearing apart. That's what it used to feel like. But now in my situation, I begin to understand that it's not necessarily the case. It's just them trying to find a balance between their new life and you know friends that they've had for a long time. And at least in my case, I am hoping, and I was hoping, that the friendship that I've had with my friends, the friendship that we built in however long it has been, will stand the test of time. That friendship is going to give me grace to navigate this aspect of my life, and then find a balance, and then come back to the friendship full, and we'll definitely have like a new dynamic, but it will still be like a strong bond that we have. So that's at least the hope that a lot of people have. But because you have never been in the situation like a single person, I'm talking about the single friend now, because you've never been in that situation, you probably don't understand that that is what they need. It's something that I did not understand until now, that I'm in that situation, and I'm beginning to feel so bad about the friendship that I let die just because we were navigating this new angle to friendship. And I see now that I should have been more patient, I should have reached out more, I should have given them time, given them space to sort of figure out what their new dynamic is and how I now fit into their life. I am also now very grateful for the friends that I have, for the ones who supported me, for the ones who extended grace, who were patient. Since I got married and now that I have kids, I cannot lie, I have been like a terrible friend in all of those stages. And it doesn't help as well that I don't live like in the same country with most of my friends. So I know and I agree that I have been a terrible friend, because I was going through very deep things that I did not know how to communicate to my friends about. Like, I went through stuff, guys. Like, I went through things that were difficult to communicate with people, and because of that, like, I just drew back and was surface level a lot with some of my friendships. And I'm beginning to realize that it wasn't the right thing to do, and I'm also realizing now that they put in so much effort into sustaining our friendship, into sustaining that relationship, and I'm grateful for that. I'm beginning to make up, I hope, right now that I am in a more stable, better place. I think that I'm beginning to make up for all of that time, which I don't know. I just feel like that is what friendship is supposed to be. It's not always balanced. People go through stuff, but because you know these people innately, you know that they're not bad people. Grace is the position that we are supposed to extend most of the time. It's not, things are not always as the same on the surface. They might be going through deeper things, and it's best that you just extend grace, give them time to go through what they are going through, not at the detriment of your mental health or your own beliefs or whatever. It's not supposed to affect you personally. If it's something that you cannot handle, just remove yourself from the situation. I don't think anybody's going to fault you for that. But if it's not affecting you negatively, if you don't have any issues with just holding space for them, then I think that you should do it, at least until you have like a conversation with them and decide if the friendship is something you guys want to sustain or is something you want to kill. I don't have a lot of friends, so the friends that I have are very important to me, and things like friendship breakup, they get to me and I take them very seriously, because it's like losing inner circle that I don't have. I can count my friends on my fingers. That's how small my friends are. So I take that relationship very seriously, and when it ends like that, it's something that I take seriously. So going forward, I am working towards ensuring that I don't mess up when it comes to like my girls, when it comes to my friends. Like, I'm trying my best to like keep that, you know, tight knit. There was a time I filmed a video. I don't think it was on this channel, not on this channel, definitely. I'll leave the link to that video in the description. But like, I filmed a video talking about friendship and how hard it is for me to make friends and blah blah. And now I look back to that video and I'm just laughing, because if I knew it was going to get worse, I probably would have waited to film that video, because my eyes are still shaky. I don't know how people do it, especially when it comes to like making new friends. I don't know how they do it. It's something that I've been working on, not very successfully, obviously, but it's something that I will continue to work on. And I'm realizing now that I need mommy friends as well, which has sort of made my work twice as hard. I think that it's difficult to find other mothers whose value align with yours, whose kids have like good behavior. I think I would judge by the parents' behavior, like that their value align with yours. They are good people. They are people that you can leave your kids with. It's just like a difficult thing to do now, but let's not dwell on that, because I'm hoping that things will get better soon. By God's grace, fingers crossed, my friendship is going to widen. I've been sharing in my videos how chaotic my life is right now and how hard it is for me to find time to do things for myself with my husband. Now imagine what it's like making plans with other people. So my friendship is suffering. All was suffering. It's still suffering. But it's in that situation anyway, so like it's hard to find time to do anything. Some of my friends still have the liberty, the freedom to plan things on a whim and just stand up and go. I no longer have that luxury. I have to make extensive plans. Like I need time to make extensive plans to do very, very simple things, or things that they would consider simple things. And when I make the time, when I go out and I do those things, all I can think about is my daughter okay at home? What is she doing? Are things going fine? So I can't really enjoy the moment. And when I can't go out and I see them doing all of these fun, nice activities, I feel left behind. It's one of those damn if you do and damn if you don't type of situation. And I cannot say that all of my friends understand my current situation, but I know for a fact that some of them understand. And those of my friends who understand have taught me that your friendship can adapt, it can grow with your life situations. It doesn't have to be the end of your friendship when something big happens in your life. So now I'm going to share the things that I've learned about maintaining friendship as a busy mom, as a new mom, as a newly married, whatever your situation is. I'm going to share those things that have helped me, the things that you should focus on. Your friendship does not have to end. You just have to be intentional about maintaining it. So the first thing is quality over quantity. Focus on the quality of the relationship that you have, the time that you can spare. Make sure that you are doing something that is meaningful. Make sure that you are giving them your attention when you can. Whenever you can meet up with your friends, just make sure that it is something meaningful, it is something valuable, that they see why you guys are friends, that they see why they should continue to work on that friendship. So just focus on the substance. That's another word for it. Focus on the substance that you are putting into that relationship. Not how many times you are calling, how often you are seeing them, how often you are hanging out with them. Not all those number games, but rather how present you are, how concerned you are, how invested in their life and their growth that you are. Something that I do is to make sure that I am not outside the loop of all of the things that are happening in my friend's life. I try to be in the know so that I know how to support them when they need support. So that's something that you should focus on. Ignore all of the many times, all of the many outings that you missed, that you could not make genuinely. Like all those things don't matter in the grand scheme of things. So just focus on the value that you're adding to their life. I think that they would appreciate it even. Also, try not to forget important occasions, events in your friend's life. Like, I know that being a mommy, being a wife, taking care of your house, all of those things are a lot of work, but you cannot keep forgetting important things that are happening in other people's life, your friends, I mean, like their birthdays, anniversary, work promotion, there are a lot of things that they would want to celebrate with you. And even if you cannot be there to celebrate with them physically, there are things that you can do to support them. And it's not always good things as well, God forbid, but this is life and we go through things. People lose people, tragedies happen. So there are things that happen in people's lives that they need their friends for. Be sure that you are present in those moments. Be sure that you contribute to whatever their situation is, because just as you being a good wife and you being a good mom and taking care of your home is important to you, their life event is equally as important to them, because you guys are in like different stages of your life. Your priority would definitely be different, but you need to show interest in the things that are important to them, just like they would show interest in the things that are important to you, contributing to your wedding, taking care of your baby, gifting your child, offering to babysit, all of those things that they do for you. You don't have to wait until you can reciprocate in the exact same way. You don't have to wait until they are married and have kids before you start doing those things for them. That's not how friendship works. You show up for each other in the places where you are, so whatever is important to them, make sure that you are being present and contributing fully. Even if you don't consider it important, they do, so it should matter to you as much as it matters to them. This next one is something that me myself I'm still working towards. I mentioned it already, and that is to find mom friends that have kids that are your age, or that just have kids in general. If their kids are older, you can learn from them. If their kids are the same age as your baby, it's good, you guys can grow together. So having mom friends whose value align with yours, I think it's going to make friendship a lot more easier. So it's something that even me too, I'm trying to focus on more this year. The next thing that I've learned is that there's no point in beating myself up about things that I cannot change. So I'm referring to like my friendship that have ended, those that will end, in as much as you try to, put in everything. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I'm beginning to understand that I need to relieve myself of that guilt. I feel bad about it for the time I feel bad about it, and I just move on. There's no point to continue to beat myself up for something that has happened or something that I cannot prevent to happen. There's no point in doing that. You just move on with life. It's also cool to understand that some friendship are for a season, and once that season ends, it's definitely going to be a situation where everybody will find their way. So there's no point in like holding on to guilt and thinking what could have been and what could haven't been. Like there's no point in like dissecting issues like that. The friendship end, the end, everybody moves on with their life. And one thing I'm learning to do as well is not to hold on to, is it resentment? Yeah, like I think that's what it is. Like the situation where you begin to retell the story. Like if you have mutual friends and then you begin to retell, like, don't do that. I try as much as possible not to make other people the villain in my story. I recognize the inputs that I made towards like that situation spoiling. I hope that they do recognize their own input as well, because it definitely takes two to tango. One person cannot, it takes the both of you, so everybody equally spoils the whole thing. So everybody should just move on. There's no point speaking bad and trying to recruit army to fight on it. There's no point doing all of that. I think that we are all adults and we understand that these situations happen. They just happen and everybody move on. In as much as it's a very painful situation, in some cases, other cases it's not that painful, but in the cases where it's like a big deal, I'm hoping that I have that grace. It's like a conscious thing that I'm trying to build, where I don't like try to carry it. It ended, everybody moved on. If you are watching this and you are single, a mom or a mom to be, just know that motherhood is going to change your friendship. Marriage is going to change your friendship. Big life decisions, movements, and growth will change your friendship, but it does not have to end it. You don't have to disappear. Things does not have to go sour. You can learn to balance your friendships. You can learn to grow with the people in your life. It doesn't have to be the end. And just know that you are not alone. You are definitely not alone. I am going through the same things as well, and I'm sure that there are a lot of women that are going through the same things as well. How has motherhood changed your relationship? Drop a comment in the comment section. Let's chat down there. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not yet subscribed to my channel. Check out my other motherhood related content, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.